What's going on, y'all? Um, you know, and I truly believe that every generation has its hard, right? It's HARD, it's hard. I think every generation has its type of hard, right? No matter no matter what it is that you go through, no matter what it is that you see, no matter what, no matter how life is portrayed to you, everyone has its at hard. Um, And just thinking about like people would always tell me is like, dude, you gotta take ownership of your mistakes. You gotta take ownership of who you are. Um, you can't, you can't. You just gotta take ownership of it, and that's what I'm doing today. And I'm coming to you, the people, letting you know that I messed up. And I think that a lot of times when it comes to us men, it's hard for us just to admit that we messed up, just admit that where we were wrong. And it's not really the fact of that we're just trying to be like, oh, I'm this man, da 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 da, let me be my chest, blah 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 blah. Blah. It's not really. That's not why we're. That's not why we is difficult. I think that it's just how you're raised that it becomes difficult for you just to say you're wrong because a lot of times you're not wrong as men. A lot of times we are right, and our girlfriend or our partner they don't really see that. Um, and and I think that I think how you're raised plays a big part in that. I mean, I wasn't raised with a father. I was raised with my mom. My mom raised me. Thank you, mom, for raising me. Thank you for spending the time, just being who you are. Thank you, mama. Dear mama. I have a Tupac said it. I don't know how Tupac said it. Um, but yeah, and the reason why I say that, because most men that wasn't raised with their father, they weren't taught to take ownership. They weren't taught, hey, this is how you treat a woman, or this is how you do this, or this is how you do that. We weren't taught that. And I think that's probably one of the hardest things because now you have to self teach yourself that. Now you have to learn it on your own. You have to be able to say, you know what, taking ownership. Okay, how does that look like? What does that look like? What does it look like taking ownership for what you did wrong? What does it look like taking ownership and being a man and manning up to your faults, manning up to your horrible choices, horrible decisions? What does that look like? And and every day I just look in the mirror and I'm like, are you manning up to your decisions? Are you manning up to your faults? And a lot of times the image that looks back at me shakes his head no. Because there's times I'm not owning up to my decisions. There's times that I'm not owning up to my faults. And I get that. I do. But that's why there's counseling, right? That's why you go through counseling. That's why you go through um, being able to find somebody to talk to, being able to find somebody to connect with and let them know, like, man, I messed up. I messed up badly. And I used to have a friend. He lived in New Jersey. Well, now he lives in Georgia or someplace. I don't know. But I used to be able to talk to him and let him know, like, man, dude, I messed up today, you know, or this is happening or that's happening, um, because As men, you don't want to you want to know that there is somebody else that can understand your faults. You want to know that there's somebody else that can understand what you are going through and how you can change that. But if you're standing on the sideline by yourself, there's no team. What team is that? What team is is just you on the sideline? Where's the coach at? Where's all the coaches at? If it's just you in the dugout by yourself, while the other team is on the field doing practices and getting ready just to tear you up. That's the devil. That's the other team. The other team will be the devil tearing you up. You know? And in church, they're always like, oh, well, you got to be more than a conqueror. You got to be David. You know? Goliath is just staring you down. And you got to be David. You're like, okay, well, I don't want to be David sometimes. And David failed a lot of times. So why would I want to be David? David literally was looking at a woman while she was bathing outside. Number one, why was she bathing outside? And number two, why were you just standing and looking at her, you little creep? And that's who we're supposed to model our lives after? And yes, he was a man after God's own heart. Okay, I get that. But yet, look how many faults he did. He even had a man killed. He literally had a man killed. He lit- he literally had a man killed. Like he literally put him in the front line to have him killed. And that's who we're supposed to model our lives after? How about we model after Jesus, who was the sacrificial lamb, who literally died on the cross for people's sins, who literally said, dude, I will die for you. How many people have told you that? Zero. I guarantee you nobody ever said, hey, bro, I will die for you today. What? No. You think I'm going to die for you? What have you done for me that makes me want to die for you? Oh, I don't hear nothing. All I hear is birds chirping. But, sorry, I had a moment there. But bringing it back to what I'm saying is that as as men, um, we need to know that when we've made mistakes, that there is restoration. There is you can be restored. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people, when pastors fail, they're like, oh well, he just needs to be restored to grace. Restore, go anyway. Um, but as a man, I think that like I said, it just becomes tough just to admit you're wrong at times, um, and really just get on back onto the path of victory. Get back on the path of man, I can do this. Um, and so I say all that to tell y'all my mistake. And number one, I'm not perfect. I'm not. If you look at me and was like, oh my God, wow, Charles is perfect, I'm not. I'm just a regular human being, just like you are. If you looked at me and was like, oh my God, wow, Charles is so cool. Yes, I am cool. But guess what? I put my pants on the same way you put your pants on, one leg at a time. There's no way that I could put on two legs at a time because I don't have a third leg to stand on. I don't. I only have two legs. So, yes, I have to put my pants on one at a time unless I go in the bed and then I put them on upside down. And who does that? Unless you can't fit into your jeans, which I fit into my pants. I might be big, but I fit into my pants. That's why I put on one leg at a time. I brush my teeth the way you do too. Top, bottom, bottom, top. back to the front. It doesn't matter how I do it. I just do it. But the other day, I was cooking and I was cooking pasta and I forgot to add garlic in the pasta. I know to some of y'all are like, oh my God, what's the big deal? It's just garlic. No, excuse me. Garlic deserves to be in everything you do. Like every food that you cook, garlic deserves to be in that. There are people that just put salt and pepper on food. Who does that? I tell you who. The people that look like this wall here. I'm not trying to be mean or cruel, but people, they just use salt and pepper and think that that is doing something. It's not. Then there are people who just put parsley on stuff. Parsley? Parsley is a garnish. Parsley just adds color to the world. That's like me. I add color. I add flavor to the world. I'm parsley. And I've always told my girlfriend, you always gotta season your food good because I want to taste good seasoning. I want the food to taste good. And I forgot to add the garlic. How can I encourage her to tell her, hey, your food needs to have good seasoning if I don't do that? How? It is totally impossible for me to do that. It is totally wrong for me to tell her, hey, this doesn't have any flavor when I didn't put no garlic in my food. So now my food has no flavor because I forgot to use garlic. And that falls on me. So I'm just letting you know I'm not perfect. And yeah, I'm not always wrong. I'm always right. But this time I'm wrong. This time I've made a mistake. Wow. I never thought that there would be a day that I did not put garlic in my food. I never thought that. I thought that I would always put garlic in my food, no matter what it is. If it's grits, garlic, oatmeal, garlic, eggs, garlic, salad, garlic, chicken, garlic, beef, garlic, cow, garlic, lamb, garlic, goat, garlic. Pour the whole bottle. Wow. My girlfriend doesn't deserve me. I don't deserve her. Matter of fact, I don't deserve her. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. I meant to say I don't deserve her. Because how can I be this man and I forget that one important thing? How many other important things that I'm going to forget? How many other important things have I just slipped to the wayside? Man, wow. This is it. I failed. I failed as a person. I hate to fail. That is one of my biggest things I hate to do is to fail. I failed. I have. It's mm, it's just so sad. Who eats pasta without garlic? Nobody. Wow. Mm. Now I understand why when I was praying the other day that all I was hearing was just like feedback. Now I get it. I get it now. Now I understand. Wow. I was like, God, and all I was just hearing was like, I was like, Holy Spirit. And I just tried Jesus. I was like, Jesus. Just feedback. Now I get it. Now I understand. Pray for me, y'all. Please. Please. Because I can't go on. I can't go on. I need somebody to save me from my wrong.